My name is Evan Shuttlesworth. I'm an application engineer here at Yokogawa, and today I will be showing you our digital Yewflow Vortex sizing program. So first things first, we're going to download the DY sizing program from our US site. So the website is yokogawa.com/US. So there's a few ways to get there, but probably the easiest is through the technical library and then software. But you can honestly search here at the top, DY sizing program. But we'll do it this way. So it's not on this first page, but if you search Yewflow and you want the digital Yewflow sizing program 9.04, that's the latest and greatest. So you're going to save the file. Not a big file. This is actually our extinct model, but this was the old version of the sizing program. Very similar, but different model now. So we're going to open this. I'm actually going to move this file to a different folder. I'm just going to create a new folder, call it Flow Sizing. And then we're going to open it up. So it's actually a zip file. So we have the unzip software on this computer, so it unzipped pretty much automatically. So the first thing you want to do is install the first version, 9.03. And then we're going to install the latest and greatest. You have to do it in this order for complicated reasons I won't go into. So accept the license agreement. Read through if you wish. And there's actually, if you forget any of this, there's actually an install guide, PDF, but it's fairly straightforward. Oh God. Oh God. So you may run into this problem with the Yewflow sizing, but this is a matter of running it again in a different manner. So I think it actually mentions it in this sales news above, but what you have to do is run it as an administrator. And you'll see this on some computers and other computers you won't. But more often than not, you'll see it. So it should work this time. Cross your fingers. Modify. So we were successful this time. Next, we're going to install the 9.04, the latest version. Same thing, run as administrator. Accept the license agreement. Whatever you want to put in here. Wait for it. And we're all finished. So now you should have a new icon somewhere. It should be under, so here it is actually. It is, so I would remove 9.03. It doesn't hurt to have it, but that is not the newest one. So I would remove it from wherever it shows up. And then click on 9.04. And this is our handy dandy sizing program. They also created a icon on the desktop. You can move this down here if you have Windows 8 to make it a little more accessible. So once you have this, and that's the first step. Second step, 1A maybe, is if you have your process or gathering your process information. This is our Yokogawa version of a data sheet, but they're all basically the same, but this is just our special blue one. And it just has all the information that you'll need to run the sizing and size your meter. So we'll go from this. Customer is Jim Johnson. His application, we'll do an easy one. We'll just do water. His tag. None of this is, top part is terribly vital, but if you have the information, it doesn't hurt to add it so it shows up on your sizing sheet. So his flow is in gallons per minute. His pressure is in PSIG, and his temperature is in Fahrenheit. But there are other options. Here we got a drop down for anything else it might be. So his max is 500. His operating or average is 100, and his minimum is 30. For his pressure, his max is 140. His operating is 100, and his minimum is 60. For his temperature, it's 120, 90, and 60 again. So we have other options up here at the top that we'll get to shortly, but this is basically when you print it out. So you can print just the performance sheet, the parameter sheet, or the performance table. Usually all's easier. And then we have a full bore, an R1 and an R2 DY. And for this one, we won't need it, but there are options. If the flow was low, or if you did not want to reduce your pipe, then we have options. So after that, we're just going to hit calculate. So I did my minimum and maximum were reversed, so we'll change that. Well, actually, I just put in too big of a number. So it's going to give you an error. And actually, to backtrack a bit, so under fluid, we have a drop down here. So we have a few or several fluids that we have saved properties for. And water just happens to be one of them. So for this one, when we hit calculate, it's going to already have a density and viscosity and vapor pressure set based on this pressure and temperature. But if you have another fluid that's obviously not in this list, then you would need your density, viscosity, and vapor pressure to calculate to get this sizing. And so there's actually only one meter that we'd recommend you use for this application, and that's the 3-inch. So it's preferred, and also now it's selected. I click it at the top, so now it's selected. And then we're going to go to View, and we're going to set our parameters. And then this is where you can set your display. This is more so if when you get to ordering a meter, especially from us. So we require a parameter sheet and a sizing if you want us to set up the meter here at the factory, so you can just install it. No worries. So this is what you need to set as far as your display. If you happen to use a multivariable type, if your process was very hot, this would switch automatically to a high temperature unit, or if you have a high pressure unit, we also have that option. So it chose liquid automatically because we chose water previously. So you can set your pulse count and then set up your pulse output or your contact output. So we're going to select scaled pulse and then view parameter sheet. So these are the parameters that we're going to set up at the factory. So you can, like I said, you can just install once you get it. But this is fairly easy to set up if you didn't want us to set it up at the factory. But this is required if needed to be set up by us. So that's your parameter sheet. You can clear out of this, or you can print that sheet. It actually prints a little prettier than this sheet once you hit print, but you can close out of that and then quick print. So it'll print this actual sizing, and then it'll print that parameter sheet that we use to program the unit. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something today. And for more information, please visit yokogawa.com/US.